Amelia, where are you right now? It's getting close to time for this show to get on the road. I haven't been able to get an answer from Mitch either. Hello, Shelby. Right now, Mitch and I are far from the bustling city down there, and have taken a day trip into the mountains to relax. What? You guys went into the mountains? Hold on a second. What do you mean? Today is the day you guys should be coming to meet with my fiancé. I told both you and Mitch before to keep today open so that you both would be able to come along with my parents. And about that, you and your fiancé are both high school graduates, right? It's true that the both of us never went to college or anything, but what does that have to do with anything? Both Mitch and I went to college and graduated from there. And what does that have to do with anything right now? You still don't have any clue? LOL. Well, I suppose that makes sense since you guys never got any higher education. But you both have to at least understand how embarrassing it is to not be educated like the rest of us, right? You think that we should both be embarrassed because of that? When it comes to two high school graduates getting married, that means everyone there already knows what to expect. I'm fine with Mom and Dad going along to meet his family, but your brother and I don't have any reason to go and see your fiancé. That's why Mitch and I both thought we'd go out and do something more fun today. We both actually graduated from college and are working for large companies who pay us well, so there's no reason for us to involve ourselves with you both. So that means you both won't be coming today. And your reason for that is because my fiancé and I never went to college? I think that right there is a good enough reason to not be there with you guys. And what is this about you both being self-employed as high school graduates? Doesn't that just mean you are both scraping up all the scraps that are left behind by larger companies and can be considered poor? You won't be able to become a hard-working career woman like myself making the big bucks from down there. Self-employed, huh? Are you really trying to lose at the game of life now? A high school graduate woman is the worst kind of person imaginable. I was always aware of how you'd pick on me for never going to college and would use your degree to make me feel bad for myself. But that is how you're going to talk about me being self-employed now, huh? Hearing that two self-employed high school graduates will be getting married is just nonsense. I can't believe you both would want to do something like that. Do you even have the money to have a wedding? You'll also have to pay for a lot more after getting married. Will you both even be able to do the bills and stuff for all of that? Thank you so much for being worried, but we'll be able to manage so you don't have to mind us. Right now, both Mitch and I are so wealthy that we can take days like today off and spend the whole day going into the mountains to resorts. But when it comes to two high school graduates who are self-employed, that means you both will have to work forever or else you'll run out of money, right? Everyone is always telling me that the poor have no time to spare. I suppose so. And since the both of us are self-employed, that means we spend most of our time working instead of having fun. But we both happen to like work, so I think we'll be alright. Unbelievable! You guys are fine with not having any days off? That right there is proof that you will both end up not having a good life together. Mitch and I would never be able to handle living life without days off where we can spend all our money. We want to take time to go explore the world, and when we do have to work, we at least want to have the money to go out and eat somewhere fancy during our lunch break. Everyone has their own little things that make them happy. Now, back to what I wanted to talk about. I can tell everyone here that both you and Mitch will not be coming now, right? We do not have time to go see high school graduates try and act all smart in front of the family just before getting married. What are you talking about? I'm just being honest with you. You both never ended up like us, instead going right to work after high school. And since you've both now sunk to a life of only lows, Mitch and I don't want anything to do with you both. Well, whatever then. I don't have much time to chat now anyway. Let me ask you one last thing before I go. I haven't been able to get in touch with Mitch. Did something happen to his phone? I'm pretty sure that Mitch doesn't want to do anything with the poor, right? And I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to expose his wife, me, to people like you anymore. So he may have blocked you, or at the very least, muted you, so that we never really have to talk to you guys anymore for the rest of our lives. If that's what the both of you want from us, then that's what we'll do. But if we do stop talking to you guys and something is to happen, I'll have to talk with my brother. So you please let Mitch know not to block or mute me, just in case there's an emergency, alright? Then I promise I will not talk to either one of you again, unless something bad does happen. I'll let him know when I feel like it. Now Mitch and I have to go back to enjoying our peaceful time here in the mountains. We have a reservation to get to here as well, for sushi on the mountaintop. So goodbye! Mom, thank you so much for coming out to see my fiancé's family today. Did you make it home okay? I just got home a second ago. Let Dad know I say thanks to coming out as well. Will do. And this is something your dad and I talked about on the way home from there. And that is that we really like your fiancé. We think he's the perfect man for you and can't wait for the wedding. Both of his parents are great people as well. So please don't feel nervous about how things went today. I myself was feeling pretty nervous about today, but now I can rest easy knowing that you found your man. I was always a little worried for you since you never really had any luck with men. Thank you so much for worrying about me, Mom. I guess I was always bringing home the most strange men, so it makes sense for you to have been a bit concerned. Well, I learned a lot from all of them, and that's how I ended up with the man I have now. And that's just wonderful to hear. As for your brother, though, that man didn't answer back to any of my calls and never even showed up. What the heck does he think he's doing right now? He hasn't even looked at any of the messages I sent him today. At first I thought that maybe his phone died on him, but then I learned he stopped replying for a different reason. Don't tell me he went and changed his phone number. No, not that. If that was the case, then all your calls wouldn't have been able to go through to him. That's a good point. I just assumed that it wouldn't be too crazy for him to do that to me, since he was always trying to distance himself from us. I just wish he would have said something today. I don't want to say anything like this, but do you think of him as not responding to us as something to do with Amelia? I don't really want to say this, Mom. She told me earlier that she doesn't want to deal with us anymore, and the same thing goes for Mitch. Hence why he hasn't been responding to either of us. Did she tell you that she doesn't want to deal with us anymore because you never went to college? She said that about both myself and my fiancé, actually. I knew things were up with those two, since it's been so long now that Mitch last came to see us. Of course that would make things worse between you and Amelia then. This is a tricky situation. I could try to talk with her some more about how they feel about us. I don't think forcing a response from them is gonna help any. The thing is, Mitch knows why you never went to college and should be telling Amelia about that. Perhaps they just never got around to talking about it. Or maybe he has told her, but she just wasn't listening or something. What do you plan to do for your wedding? It's fine that those two didn't come to see your fiancé and his family, but when it comes to the wedding, they really should show up. Mitch is your little brother after all, so at least invite him to it. Of course, I'm planning to invite him. Those two ended up having such a massive and expensive wedding, and you came to give them quite a lot of money as a gift. So I really hope those two show some appreciation for what you've done and come to your wedding bearing a gift for you. Well, I'm planning to send them both an invitation to see what they say, but who knows? I'm sure that Amelia doesn't want to come, and I don't think she'd like it if Mitch did go by himself either. I'm not asking for you all to get together like a family, but at the very least, I hope they will show up for your wedding of all things. A little while back, I went over to their place to drop off some things for them, and they told me they didn't need any of it before shutting the door on me. I also sent them some smaller things after that, and they said the same thing to that poor delivery man before shutting the door on him too. What? That sort of stuff happened as well? I'm really worried about how Mitch is doing. But I don't want to keep trying to help him if it risks me having to lose my only son. That's why I've kind of come to a standstill, not knowing what I should be doing about him. It's been 2 years now since I last met with Mitch. That's the same for your dad and I. Well, if they make the trip out to my wedding, it'd be the first time seeing them after such a long time. I really hope they can come. Well, if they decide not to, there is nothing for us to do about it. When you know about your wedding details, please let us know right away. Will do, Mom. Now you and Dad take it easy for the rest of the night. Good night. We just got the invitation to your wedding, and it seems you both are having it at a place far more famous than I had thought. Do you guys really plan to go into that much debt for a wedding? The stupidity of those who never went to college is scary. I'm glad to hear that you got the invitation. You know that both my fiancé and I got to work right after high school, so we both had enough money in our savings to host our wedding there. So anyway, will you guys be able to come? Well, Mitch does happen to be your younger brother, right? And I am his wife. So I think it would be fine if we both went and joined you for your wedding. Really? That's great. My mom really wants to meet the both of you since it's been close to 2 years now. She's been worried about how the two of you been doing. We have both been working diligently and doing just fine, so we don't need her worries. Do either of you have any allergies? Allergies? Neither of us have any. Then I don't have to tell the kitchen staff to make any exceptions for you. I'm really happy to hear that the both of you are willing to come and see my wedding. I'm really looking forward to seeing you both after so many years. Then consider this our reply to your invitation, okay? We shouldn't have to send you a response back in the letter you sent us, right? That's right. You're both very busy with your jobs, so you don't have to worry about sending me back a response by mail. So you can just toss that out. I've already heard that you're both coming here, so that's good enough for me. Then I'm going to throw all of this away. I'm sure that it's impossible for the both of you to pull off a wedding that's more fancy and expensive than the one Mitch and I had, but I just wanted to let you know to do your best with all the preparations so that you don't disappoint all of your guests. Thank you, Amelia. Shelby, I'm so sorry. I've been so busy with work lately, and yesterday I had to head out of town on a business trip. So I'm not too sure I can make it to your wedding today. What? You're on a business trip? That's right. Us college graduates are all given plenty of responsibilities when it comes to our work. Therefore, I have things I need to do. I'm sure you could never understand something like that through your high school graduate. Both Mitch and I have been asked to deal with our jobs today. So since we're both unable to come to that poor people's wedding, you should go ahead and mark us as not coming.
I'm already at the wedding though, Amelia.
What? Wait, what? Who is this?
Mitch. I just made it to the changing room to see how things were going with Shelby. And she told me you had just started to text her. So I borrowed her phone from her to see what you were saying.
Mitch? Wait, what? Why are you there right now, Mitch?
I wanted to ask you why you're not here, actually. This is my older sister's wedding of all things. And back when my family met with her fiancé's family, you told me nothing about that, and I missed out on it completely.
Is that right?
I made sure to give Shelby my new phone number so that we can stay in touch again. But before I had asked you to give my mom, my dad, and my sister a new phone number for me because I was out of town for work at the time, why did you never tell any of them what happened? Did you forget to do that for me, or were you meaning to not tell them on purpose?
I told all of them, but I'm sure all 3 of them went and deleted your contact info after that. I made sure that all 3 of them had your new number.
Don't forget that right now, I'm on my sister's phone texting you, and that I can go back and look through all your guys' chat history. That's what I'm doing right now as we speak.
Wait a second, you can't do that. Haven't you ever heard of such a thing as privacy?
Then what would you call lying to me about something I asked you to do?
I never lied to you, though. I was never told anything about your guys' parents going to meet Shelby's fiance's parents, and I was never told anything about the wedding.
Then tell me right now, where are you, Amelia?
What? I'm at my parents' house.
Then why were you telling my sister that you were on a business trip? You're not freaking working. I'm going to give your parents a call right now and make sure that you're there. I'm sure they can tell me if you're lying or not.
Hold on a second. You can't do that.
You already gone and lied to me about my sister's marriage and her wedding plans. And then you lied to me about telling my parents and her my new phone number. And I've just found out all the terrible things you've been saying about my sister and her fiance because they never went to college. And also about how you would send my mom back home with the things she brought for us saying we didn't need them. I have found out about all of that and can see the proof that a lot of this did happen to my sister's phone. So you better explain yourself right now, Amelia.
But Mitch, you and I both graduated from college. Aren't you embarrassed to be related to people that never got a higher education? It's embarrassing to me.
The reason my sister never went to college was for my sake.
What?
The college that I wanted to go to was a private school, which meant that it was very, very expensive. And at first, I was planning on just taking out a few student loans to get there, but when my older sister found out about what I had planned to do, she said that she'd skip going to college and let me use the money she had saved up for her. All of that money my parents had been saving up for her to go to college was used on me so that my dream could come true. When she told that to my parents, she told them that she'd just graduate high school and then start working instead.
In other words, that means she didn't have the intelligence to get into college, right?
My sister went to the top-rated private school in our state for high school.
Wait, what? You're lying, right?
When I had just entered the same high school as her, she left and moved into a private school in order to begin taking college-level classes there. There, she earned all the highest scores in the school and was slated to go to Harvard. But when she told her school that she'd be giving all the savings our parents had for her to go to school to me, they held a meeting with my parents and I to try and convince us to have her to go to Harvard. Normally, we would have wanted her to go there since she already had plenty of scholarships as well, but she had her mind set on another goal. She wanted to start doing work of her own and become a very successful self-employed business owner.
Hold on a second. She was slated to go to Harvard even?
When it comes to all the scores she got on her exams, they were way above whatever you were able to get. Even higher than what I was able to get on them.
There's no freaking way.
And when it comes to my sister's fiance, he went to college, but not in the US. After he graduated from high school, he went overseas to a university in Germany for 2 years, and then came back to start his own business. Every so often, he'll go back to Germany for work, and there he will work on things like IT training and the like. So you can call him self-employed all you want, but that doesn't mean he isn't running a company of his own, which is a global company.
What? What the heck do you mean he's living the life of some sort of genius? Well, it's not a lie that your sister is still self-employed.
It's really hard to explain what she's doing with her business, so the best I could do is say she's self-employed. Shelby is a world-renowned author. And she goes by a different name when selling her books, so if you look up her name, it won't come up.
She's an author? Oh, wait a second. If she's writing short stories or something.
My sister really loves to study on her own, so she's put some money into things like cram courses where she'll study in her free time things like writing and business. And right after high school, she went and worked part-time for another publishing company where she also picked up on a ton of skills.
I never heard anything about that.
If you would actually spend some time talking to my family and coming out to see them, then you would have known. I know that I tend to be pretty distant from my family, but that's just my personality. I told you to spend time with them all, or at least send them a couple of texts every so often. That's what I was expecting you to do as my wife, and as someone who wanted to be in my family. But instead, you have been talking garbage about my family members while keeping them away from me and lying to me. I will not be forgiving you for any of that. When this wedding is over with, I'm going back home, and I want you there so that I can give you a long, thorough talking to.
Wait, Mitch, I'll come to the wedding right now. I'll come and see all of your family right now.
You threw out the invitation, right? And you never sent in the RSVP letter to my sister after doing so. My sister already knew this was going to happen, so she didn't even get a seat ready for you.
I told her I was coming through text, though.
You said you would be coming for her. You never said that you'd be coming for yourself. Why did you have to make it sound like she had to be thankful to you for coming to her wedding? You should be thankful that she even went through the time and effort to invite you. You can come here all you want now, but you're not being let in.
Don't say that, Mitch. I'm still your wife, right?
In the coming days, I don't think you will be anymore.
No way. What do you mean by that? Mitch? Do you really mean that you're going to divorce me? Help me, Shelby! Please stop your brother right now! What's happened? He wants to divorce me, but I don't want him to divorce me. That's why I'm asking you to please do something about Mitch. Tell him to stop trying to get that divorce. Wow. You went and lied to your husband about everything in the hopes that he would never have to talk to any of his family again. Then you went and made fun of his sister and her fiancé at the time for going to and graduating from college. And then you bragged about how you graduated from college and your life was all fun and games with lots of money and time to spend traveling. Then you went and lied to him about his own sister's wedding and lied to me about you both being at work and not being able to come, even though he was with me at the wedding venue. And then you placed the cherry on top by cheating on your husband this whole time. And yet you don't think him wanting to get a divorce from you is warranted. How interesting, Amelia. Why do you know about that? I heard everything from my brother. On the day of my wedding, you told your husband that you could not make it to the wedding because you had to take your mom to the hospital, right? But really, you were still lying to him and were actually on vacation with your secret boyfriend, right? And back when I asked where you were when my parents and I were going to visit my fiancé and his parents, you said Mitch and you were in the mountains on a small day trip. But really, Mitch wasn't with you, and said you were with that secret boyfriend of yours. That's because Mitch has been so busy with work that he never spends time with me, and I was getting lonely. It was hell for me to be at home all alone all the time. You have to understand how it feels to be so lonely all the time, right? I'm not really sure what is a lie and what is the truth anymore when it comes to you. What? You were also lying about being a career woman, right? No, I was not. You've seen my business card before, right? That was my business card from the massive company. That was the business card you had back when you first graduated from college and worked for that company for a couple of months. But you were only there for a couple of months, because then you were fired. Why do you know about that? After you were fired, you tried your best to find a new job, but nobody wanted to take you. And then, when you found a place you thought was really going to keep you, they fired you and you went back to square one again. You tried other small jobs as well, but quit because you felt you deserved better. And to this day, you still have not found yourself a career, right? Right now, you've just been living off my brother's income and have done nothing else. You're not even doing any of the chores or cooking for him like a housewife could be doing. That's because I'm not meant for things like chores. I feel that I'm much more meant to be out of the house working than in the house cooking for Mitch. You say that, but you were never able to keep a job, instead just messing around all day long while cheating on my brother, all while relying on my brother to do everything for you, right? That's because my whole family has come to agree that Mitch is making the right choice by divorcing you. Well, if he freaking does that, then who's left to take care of me? That's right. There's still your husband. He's running a globally known company now, right? I'll start working there for him. I could even start working for you as your assistant if you'd like. I've done things like paperwork, so I know that I can help the both of you out. I like doing my own paperwork, and so does my husband. And my husband isn't even hiring anymore. Especially after how much he's heard about you hating on people who never went to college. But that's all right, right? You went and graduated from university and got yourself a degree, which means you'll be totally fine on your own, right? Just leave the house for once, and I'm sure any company would just love to hire you, right? Don't say that! If I have to be divorced right now, I'll also have to pay a settlement. I've also been told that there will be no splitting of the properties because I was the one who cheated. I already tried talking with Mitch's lawyer, but the guy seems to know what he's talking about and will not let me off the hook. I just don't want this divorce. Well, if you never wanted to get a divorce, then you should have never married my brother to begin with. You see, when you become someone's wife, you are expected to spend some time talking to his family, and the same goes both ways. But since you tried so hard to keep your husband away from his own family, all because you didn't want to talk to us, that means you never really cared for the marriage you had with Mitch. Are you not going to help me here? Are you saying you're okay with me being divorced and then being forced to live on the streets? Not only me, but my mom and dad as well are saying that. You never seem to want to be around any of us, so what makes you think that we have any interest in you? What the heck? The one thing I'd really like to know right now is how Mitch ended up finding out about your wedding. You can try to keep us apart all you want, but Mitch and I are siblings. We know what each other will be doing just by the feelings in our gut, and I knew he'd be going to that class reunion. Class reunion? Now that you mention it, a little while back he did say he was going to a class reunion. And I just happened to know a lot of people that would be there, so I let him know I was getting married, and that news spread quickly. Plenty of people at the reunion were coming to my wedding as well, so they wanted to talk with Mitch about me. I forgot that you both did go to the same high school for a little bit, but I didn't actually think anyone at the school cared about you. I thought that everyone at the school would have cut ties with you for never going to college. Who would have thought that they all still talk to you? Well, forget about all of that now, because I really want to be friends now. Once I heard all about how you'd been accepted to Harvard and was slated to go there, I knew you weren't the average low-life high school graduate. So let's be close friends, alright? I don't have to become friends with complete strangers, right? Then at the very least, stop your brother from divorcing me. I have always been treated very well by my brother, and so I want to respect his decision to get rid of you. Please do not say that! I'm sorry, but I have a honeymoon to look forward to now. I'm sure that by the time I'm back in the States, things will have already finished up between you and Mitch. Therefore, good luck to you in these next couple of days. Right after that, I went and blocked Amelia's number, and then completely erased her contact info off my phone. And with the feeling of being free from her, I went and enjoyed my honeymoon with my husband. When I came back home from the honeymoon, my brother told me that the divorce had happened and that he got the settlement money he had asked for. And when things came to the separation of properties, Mitch didn't have to give Amelia anything, and she had already used so much of his money cheating on him. After being kicked out of my brother's house, Amelia made an attempt to go home to her parents' house. But there, her very strict father kicked her off the property and told her to never come back after learning that she'd cheated on Mitch. And with that, the only options for that college graduate were to start looking for a job or become homeless. And so, with what little energy and mental state she had, she left. She started working part-time and had been making just enough to keep food on the small little table in her rundown apartment.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
Emily dear, it's been a while. Sorry for the sudden message, but I was hoping you and my son Tom could come visit us during the upcoming long weekend. Excuse me? We're having a big family reunion. Quite a few relatives will be there, and we'll prepare lots of good food. Emily, you liked seafood, right? We have a relative who's a fisherman. He'll prepare an amazing seafood platter. I'm sorry, who is this? Come on, Emily, what are you saying? Have you forgotten who I am? I'm your mother-in-law. I have a terrible relationship with my mother-in-law. We haven't met even once since we announced our engagement. There's no way she'd contact me, and there's no way she'd sound so friendly, too. What? If this is a scam, you should do some more research on your victims. Nobody would fall for this. How dare you suggest this is a scam? This is definitely Sarah, Tom's mother. The Sarah I know would never text me directly. How rude! I'm telling you, this isn't a scam. It's really me. I'm Tom's mother, your mother-in-law. That's absolutely impossible. Sarah hates me because I won't be a housewife, and she especially hates that I earn more than my husband. She didn't even come to our wedding. She said, I can't show this kind of daughter-in-law to our relatives. Someone like that wouldn't suddenly want me to meet the family. You're still hung up on those old words? People can change their minds. After 5 years of complete silence? What's with that attitude? Your mother-in-law is swallowing her pride to reach out to you. I thought it was time to make amends. You should believe me. Wait, are you really Sarah? Finally! Yes, it's really me. Is it that hard to believe I want to reconnect? To be honest, yes. You've never shown any interest in our lives before. That's what I've been saying. My son Tom has been married to you for 5 years. During that time, we haven't been in contact, practically estranged. Even I've had time to cool down and think. I'm shocked. I never thought you'd be the one to reach out. Life is too short to hold grudges forever. Family should be together. What made you change your mind after all this time? I've wanted to make amends for a long time, but I didn't know how to contact you. When this family reunion came up, I thought it could be a good opportunity for us to get closer. I see. Though I wish you'd apologize for what happened before, instead of acting like nothing happened. You're still asking for an apology after I reached out first? The things you said really hurt me. About apologizing. I have my pride, you know, but I don't want to stay estranged from my son and his wife forever. That's why I finally reached out. That's so like you, Sarah, but thank you for contacting me. I'm happy because I've been hoping we could get along eventually. Really? You'll make amends with me? Of course. It's not like I wanted us to be on bad terms. Then you'll come visit us during the long weekend, right? I'm sorry, but could we pass on that? Whatever for? A family reunion right away is a bit much. How about Tom and I come visit you this weekend first? We've been distant for 5 years, so I'd like to bridge that gap gradually. Why take small steps when we can resolve everything at once? It just seems overwhelming to meet everyone at once. You don't need to worry about that. Coming here multiple times would be troublesome for you. You'll have to meet the relatives eventually, so it's better to get everything done at once. But actually, we need you to come to the reunion. It's our local tradition to have everyone gather every 5 years. All branches of the family come to the main house. Everyone from both main and branch families must attend, including wives and grandchildren. I didn't know about that tradition. How could you? You've never shown interest in our family customs before. That's not fair. I was never given the chance. We're quite rural here. Besides, wouldn't you rather get all the family greetings over with at once instead of making multiple visits to relatives? That's true, but with such a big gathering, I'm feeling a bit nervous. There's nothing to be nervous about. Everyone is excited to meet you. Are you sure they'll accept me? Don't worry. Just think of it as a dinner party. So, we'll be expecting you. You must come. Hey, Tom, your mom Sarah just contacted me after 5 years. She wants to make amends and asked us to come home for the long weekend.
I just got that message too. I can't believe my stubborn mom is actually reaching out. You're okay with it? I'd be really happy if you come back with me.
She seemed really different in her messages. almost friendly.
Really? That doesn't sound like her at all.
That's what I thought too. I even accused her of being a scammer at first.
You didn't!
I did, but it really was her. She said she wants to make amends.
I honestly never thought she'd be the one to reach out first. Well, what do you think?
Of course I'll go. I never wanted to be on bad terms with your parents anyway.
Really?
Yes, really. I've always hoped we could get along someday.
You're amazing, you know that? After everything she said to you when I first introduced you.
That's in the past now. Let's focus on moving forward. But wow, almost all the relatives gathering? She was talking about the main family and branch families. I didn't know that was still a thing.
Yeah, my hometown is pretty rural. This must seem strange to you, being born and raised in the city.
Is it really that traditional? Your mom mentioned something about it being mandatory for all family members.
Mom always was big on family obligations.
They said it happens every 5 years. What's it like? Since it's my first time, I'd like to know what to expect.
Actually, I'm not really sure myself.
Really?
I only remember it from when I was a kid, and it's pretty fuzzy. I think the adults would all gather and talk. The kids stayed in a separate room, playing together until the adults finished their drinking party.
Makes sense. Kids would just get in the way of adult drinking parties.
Were you hoping for more details? Sorry, I can't remember much.
No, it's fine. I'm just trying to prepare myself mentally.
Right after I started middle school, I got busy with sports. My team was always going to national tournaments, so during breaks I was always away at competitions. That was a valid excuse to skip family gatherings. They'd say, go make the family proud.
So even you haven't been to one of these in years?
Not since I was maybe 12 or 13.
So you don't really know what it's like either. I'm getting nervous now.
Hey, don't worry too much. We'll face it together.
But what if they all judge me like your mom did?
I'm sure it's just eating good food and drinking. You might have to do a quick self-introduction at the start, but just be yourself. You'll be fine.
A self-introduction? In front of everyone?
Nothing formal, just your name and maybe what you do.
Even that makes me nervous. You know how your mom feels about my career.
Don't let that bother you. I'm proud of what you do.
Okay.
Really, it's fine. We'll stick together.
Promise you won't leave me alone with them?
Promise. We're a team, remember? I'll let my parents know we're both coming. It'll be nice to visit my hometown after so long.
I hope this means things are really changing with your mom.
Me too. Be nice to have everyone get along finally.
Let's stay positive, but maybe a little cautious too?
Agreed. We'll hope for the best, but be prepared for anything. Hey, Emily, how could you leave just like that? This is awful. You were supposed to make amends with my parents. They came to welcome us and all the relatives prepared food to welcome you. Why'd you leave without saying anything?
Tom?
Everyone's asking where you went. Mom is furious. I know you're city born and might not fit in with the rural gatherings, but saying I can't take this backward place is too harsh.
Thank goodness, you're safe.
What do you mean safe? You're the one who suddenly disappeared. Stop talking nonsense and come back. I chose you over my parents because you're important to me. But being estranged from your own parents is pretty tough, you know. Just when I thought things could go back to normal. Couldn't you try to meet them halfway? Leaving without notice is so inconsiderate. Everyone welcomed us.
You need to escape too.
What?
Please, Tom, just trust me and get out of there.
You're scaring me. What's going on?
I'm so glad you're safe. Find a chance to escape. I'm almost at the station.
Escape? Are we being chased? What do you mean I should escape to?
They took me to a separate room.
What? When? I thought you were just in the bathroom.
It was all a trap. We were tricked. Your parents and the relatives aren't welcoming us at all. You need to escape quickly or they'll force us to divorce.
What?
They ambushed me when I went to get some air.
That's impossible. My parents wouldn't.
They already had the divorce papers prepared, Tom.
No way.
The main family head was there too. Your mom told me that they had it all planned.
But why? Mom seems so sincere about making amends.
It was all an act to get us here. Please, you have to believe me.
I do believe you, but I can't process this.
Just escape quickly. I'll explain everything later. Just trust me for now.
Where should I go?
Get to the station. I'll wait for you there.
Won't they notice if I leave?
Say you're going to the bathroom.
Okay, I'll try to leave now.
Be careful.
Yeah, you too. I'll see you soon.
Where do you think you're going? You're going to divorce my son and marry into the main family. We won't let you return to the city. Don't be ridiculous. I'll never divorce Tom. And marry into the main family? You want me to marry a 90-year-old who's already got one foot in the grave? That's absolutely insane! Watch your tongue. The main family specifically requested you. No one would want a divorced woman anyway. We were being considerate by planning your future. What did you say? The head of the main family himself offered to take you in. You should be more grateful. Women from branch families should shut up and obey. You're delusional if you think I'll agree to this. You have no choice in the matter. Main family, branch family, none of that matters to me. Of course it matters. You married my son. That makes you our daughter-in-law. In this area, the main family's word is absolute. So that's why I was suddenly taken to the main hall and surrounded by people saying, "You must divorce immediately. This is final." You should be honored they're taking such interest in your future. When there's trouble in a family, we resolve it at family gatherings. Whatever the main family decides is final. That's our tradition. And this time, everyone listened to my concerns. When I said I'm sad because my daughter-in-law hasn't let me see my son for 5 years, the main family decided divorce was necessary. They even offered to take in such an impertinent daughter-in-law and let you marry into the main family. You planned this from the start, didn't you? The reconciliation was just bait. We did what was necessary. That's exactly what's wrong. You're just using tradition as an excuse when you really just want to force a divorce because you don't like me. And that old man from the main family just wants someone to take care of him. What's wrong with that? Women should stay home and serve their husbands. That's natural around here. Natural for who? This isn't the feudal era. Our traditions have worked for generations. Your traditions are just excuses for control. You city people think you know everything. We'll never understand each other. I refuse. I absolutely won't divorce Tom. And after this, we're completely cutting ties. I'll never see you again, Sarah. How dare you speak to me like that? I'll tell Tom never to come back to his hometown, too. You can't keep my son from his family. Watch me. After what you tried to pull today? I won't allow that. We have our own plans. We'll file the divorce papers and marriage papers ourselves. You can't do that without our consent. We have our ways. That would be a crime. Around here, the main family has more power than the police. We have relatives working at the city hall, too. They'll process the papers if we ask them to. You're insane. All of you. This is how things work here. You're kidding! We have to be tough with insolent daughters-in-law. You will divorce my son, and the main family will re-educate you properly. Don't think you can escape this.
That's not happening, Mom. We've already filed a restriction notice. You can't force either a divorce or a marriage.
What? Mom, you mean...
It's your son, Tom. Though I'm ashamed to call myself your son now. I can't believe my parents are actually such horrific people. I'm embarrassed and deeply disappointed.
Why are you chatting on Emily's phone? You should be in the other room drinking with the relatives.
I snuck out because Emily told me to escape right away.
What? You betrayed us! Your own family!
I didn't understand the situation, but I knew Emily wouldn't say something like that without reason, so I said I was going to the bathroom and escaped.
You ungrateful child! where are you? Even if you escaped, you can't get away from us for long.
I'm already on the train. It leaves in 1 minute.
What? Get back here and do as we say. You're not staying with that woman for a second longer.
Can't believe you planned something so terrible. Thank goodness we filed that restriction notice. I always knew that you had been against me marrying Emily, Mom. I was worried about what might happen, so I made sure no one else could file paperwork for us.
Why are you interfering with your mother's plans? We're doing this for your own good. A wife should stay home and support her husband. Living with a wife who acts superior just because she earns more must be hard.
Emily doesn't act like that at all. Life with her is really happy.
What?
She's efficient and great at her job. I really admire her. Sure, she can be a bit messy around the house, but she always eats the food I cook and grins like she's eating a 5-star restaurant. Even when she's tired from working late, she's always insists on washing the dishes. We support each other. She's important to me.
Wait, what? Tom, you're cooking? A man like you in the kitchen?
Yes, I cook. I clean too. We're partners. I learned from watching you, Mom. I'm well aware that my hometown is stuck in old-fashioned ways. Women always cooking while men just eat and drink without helping. But I always thought that was wrong, even as a kid. That's why I decided that when I grew up, I'd cook for someone I love.
But...
Stop trying to ruin your son's happiness. I'm sorry, but I'm cutting ties with you all. This went too far. It was scary, seeing all the messages you sent to my wife. I'm never coming back to this town.
Wait, Tom, don't say that. We can talk about this. Please come back.
Goodbye.
What am I supposed to do? Tom hasn't responded to any messages since then. Did you expect him to? He's my only son. Tell him to answer me. Of course not. You had a chance to apologize, but all you did was demand divorce your wife immediately. Even Tom has his limits. What did you say? You turned my son against me. No, your actions did that. We're so glad we filed that restriction notice 5 years ago. Lucky I managed to escape, too. My recent running hobby really paid off. You don't understand what you've done. Things are terrible here. Because of you, we're being ostracized. Everyone's angry that we ruined the gathering and embarrassed them when they were trying to help. Trying to help? Is that what you call forcing divorce and remarriage? The main family is furious. Wow, so social ostracism really exists? This is turning out like a horror movie now. Stop mocking our ways. It's not horror. This is the path to everyone's happiness. Women stay home, men work outside. The main family's word is absolute. Branch families obey quietly. If you follow these rules, nothing goes wrong. And that's exactly why we'll never visit again. You can't do this to us. Well then, I'll write a letter to the main family. I'll ask them to please order Sarah to never contact us again. What? Since you respect their authority so much, let's use it. Even if we have children in the future, or if you need nursing care, we won't be involved. It's better for everyone if you cut ties completely with such cold-hearted son and daughter-in-law. It's for the peace of all your relatives. I'll write and send a letter that tells them that. You wouldn't dare! Since we're the ones who ruined the family gathering, the main family might agree. They might tell you to stop associating with your disgraceful son and his career woman wife. Then they might stop ostracizing you. No, you can't. Tom is our only son. I can't accept never being able to contact him again. But the main family's word is absolute, right? Well, this is different. This is goodbye then. We're changing our contact information and moving. This is the end. Wait, please. Just give us another chance. Don't worry. I promise I'll make your only son very happy. Goodbye. Emily, please. At least let me apologize properly. We immediately sent letters to the main family and changed our contact information. I had just received a job transfer offer, so Tom changed jobs too, and we moved to my new work location. Now, it's practically impossible for his parents or relatives to contact us. According to rumors, as expected, the main family said, "What terrible son and daughter-in-law cutting ties with us. Never let them set foot in this land again. Nobody contact them. That includes you, their parents." Apparently, Sarah and her husband reluctantly agreed. I wonder if there are other places that still have traditions like this. Kinda crazy, huh?
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Oh man, I'm finally off the plane. What a long flight. But at least I'm finally on my way to the hotel for my business trip.
Well, it sounds to me like you've had quite the busy day today. And to think that you got stuck in that airport for hours because of that last-minute delay.
Yeah, I really didn't see that one coming. And man, did it take forever to finally get that plane sorted again. There were people starting to get really pissed at the people by the check-in desk. And a bunch of crying kids and stuff too. It was a real mess. I'm just glad that I survived a day like today. Wouldn't you say, Hanny?
Hanny? Where did that come from?
What do you think? It's a nickname that I came up with for you while I was up in the air. I think it's pretty good if you ask me. The truth is that I just had way too much time on my hands. The Wi-Fi wasn't even working on the flight.
I see. Well, I guess I am happy that what you do in your free time is think of names for me.
Oh, well, I'm just so glad that you don't mind me calling you that then, Hanny. But just know that I'm the only one who should be allowed to call you that. And you better not let any other men call you something similar, got it?
Well, of course. What other men would I even know who would want to call me something like that?
I'm just saying that you're on mine, you know that? You're my Hanny. Just know that even when I was locked in that hunk of metal flying across the sky, that I was still just thinking about you the whole time. I really do wish I could have brought you along on this trip with me. I've been thinking a lot about how long it's been since you and I were last able to go on a fun trip together.
Oh, John. Stop it. Have you really been thinking of me that much? You're going to make me blush, you know.
Well, we just need to wait a little bit longer, and then I'm finally going to divorce that lousy wife of mine. And then you and I can finally be together as man and wife.
Hold on a second. You're going to divorce your wife?
Of course I am. You didn't think that her and I were going to stay together forever, right? Besides, I really am getting sick of having to deal with that old hag. You're the only one that I want to spend my life with now, Hanny.
Well, while I really appreciate your feelings, I'm not sure that we should be talking about your wife like this.
Oh, come on. Do you mean that you're really going to pity her more than you do me? Sure, she was pretty once, but now she's just a washed-up old hag. It's like she tricked me into marrying her, and the second we were wed, she started to let herself go. I thought that she was going to be pretty forever, but at least now with someone as pretty as you.
Oh, stop it. You don't need to say those things about me.
But I mean it. I think that you're just so gorgeous, and I feel so happy that you and I ended up together. It really is true. In fact, I want you to know that one of the reasons why I'm working so hard is so that I can marry you one day. In fact, my 3rd anniversary with my wife is coming up, and I was thinking, that's the day that I want to leave her and marry you. Anyways, I'm about to reach my hotel now, so I'll have to get all my things and start checking in. But anyways, I just wanted to let you know how much I miss you.
Hey, Hannah, are you there? I'm really sorry to message you suddenly like this, but do you have a moment to chat?
Oh, hey there, Fiona. I'm actually just a little bit busy right now. But when I finish with what I'm doing here, I'll be glad to talk to you.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that you were busy. I guess that it must be the busy season for your office then, right?
No, it's not a work thing that I'm busy with, actually. I just have a lot that I need to think about.
You have things you need to think about. This wouldn't happen to be about my son's affair, would it?
Wait, what? I don't get it. How did you find out about this?
I knew it. And let me guess. You've been getting some kind of strange texts from my son as well. Is that right? He's probably said something about some kind of strange nickname. Isn't that right?
Hold on a second. You mean that you even know the name of the woman he's seeing? I don't understand. How did you figure all of this out?
Well, the truth of the matter is that I had a little something done to John's phone not that long ago.
You had something done to his phone? But what does that mean?
Well, you know how John left for his business trip today, don't you? He actually stopped by my house just a little bit before going to the airport.
Oh, yes. I think he mentioned something about going to see you before his flight was supposed to leave.
And anyways, that son of mine still has a bunch of things at my house. Now I know that there's many reasons for why that is. But anyways, while he was messing around with some of his boxes, I happened to see a strange text come to his from a girl named Hannah. And I just knew when I saw that text that I was looking at something that he didn't want me to see. And anyways, I just know that he's seeing another woman.
I don't believe it. Please tell me that this isn't true.
I'm afraid it is. Although I was so upset that while I was on John's phone, I blocked this Hannah girl's number.
Hold on a second. You did what?
Oh, that's not all I did. I also took photos of the text that I had proof of what he was doing. Just think of how let down I was when I realized what John was doing. I agree that I got quite mad, but it's true. I went on his phone and I blocked this Hannah woman's number.
I see. Well, I didn't want to say anything without proof, but things have been pretty strained for John and I.
But then I had another idea. Instead of having this other woman's number be blocked, I switched out her number with yours instead.
Hold on a second. You did what now? Are you kidding me?
No, it's no lie. I made it so that when he thought he was texting this other woman of his, he would actually be texting you instead. I made it so that he'd never notice what he was doing at all.
Oh, I see. That explains those weird texts that he was sending to me earlier then. Fiona, I have to say, I think that you've really outdone yourself.
Well, like I said, I saw those messages coming in on his phone and I just kinda saw red. I'm really sorry to have done that without telling you first, though. But I just couldn't think of what else to do, and I knew that I had limited time. And I just knew that if I did this, then there was a chance that he would send you all the evidence that he needed.
Well, I don't think that you have anything you need to apologize for. I mean, the truth is that I was quite sure that John was cheating on me this whole time.
But I bet you were surprised to get those kinds of texts from John. Texts that were meant for the woman he was cheating on you with. I wish I could have told you all of this faster before that happened.
Oh, it's true. I was surprised and I just kind of played along with what he was saying. And to be honest, now that I know the full situation, I think that we could have some fun with this.
Wait, really? Just what do you have in mind?
I think that I need a little more time to think about this. But I take it that this means he doesn't realize you know that he's having an affair, right? So if he still hasn't realized that you've switched out the numbers, then I think this means we can get even more evidence of what he's done. I don't know, this is kind of exciting. It's like some kind of spy novel or something.
Well, I guess it kind of is when you put it that way. And I'll be sure to send you the pictures that I took of his messages earlier today, okay?
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate all your help in this, Fiona.
Hey there, Hanny. I just wanted to let you know that I'm finally getting back from my business trip, but I was thinking about stopping by your place first. I have many gifts that I bought for you while I was away.
Oh, really? You did? Oh, sweetie, that's amazing. I'm so excited.
Well, if you're really that happy, then I'm happy. Maybe I'll even give you all the stuff I got from my wife, too.
Are you sure about that? You really want me to have all of that, too? I just don't want your wife to get mad at you when you come back.
Oh, Oh, she won't care one bit if I don't bring her anything. Besides, an old hag like that doesn't deserve to get gifts from me. You know, the whole time that I've been away on my trip, she hasn't messaged me even one time to check up on me. She really is just the worst wife a man could ask for.
Well, don't you think that she might have been just a bit busy, do you? Maybe she didn't have time to message you.
Yeah, no. It is for sure not that. I mean, all that woman does is work and raise the kid. She should have plenty of time to message me too. She's just another mom waiting at home for her husband to come back. So I seriously doubt that she was too busy to send even one message to me. And if she really was that busy with working the kid, then that just goes to show how bad she is at doing those things.
Oh, come on, John. Don't you think you're being just a little unfair? I'm sure your wife works hard.
Oh, Hanny, you really are such a sweetie. Do you know that? I mean, you don't need to say a single thing about my wife, and yet you're trying to stand up for her. I really am lucky to be with an angel like you.
You really think that I'm an angel? Oh, John, you know just what to say. Do you know that?
I just wish that I could have met you before I met Fiona. I still think it's so funny how close your names are. Oh, and by the way, I was wondering if I could spend the night at your place tonight. I have the spare key that you gave me, so I can just head straight there.
Are you really sure about that? I mean, I would think that you should go home to your wife the first night that you're back from your trip, right?
Nah, I'll just lie until it'll get pushed back a day or something like that. Besides, it's not often I get to go to your place. I'll just tell Fiona some silly thing like the plane got delayed and they had to put me up in a hotel for an extra night. Although if I had my way, I would just always be going home to you.
Oh, you really are so sweet. Do you know that? But we're not even married yet.
I know, but one day we will be. And then we can finally have the life that we wanted. And then you and I can finally move in together and have our happily ever after.
You mean that you're really going to do it? You're finally going to divorce her? Oh, I'm sure she'll be shocked by that.
I don't care at all how she feels about it. I am sick and tired of living with that woman when I have you in my life now. I'm going to break up with that old hag, and then you and I are finally going to get married. Maybe I should just text her that I want a divorce right now.
You really think you can pull that kind of crap with me, mister?
Wait, what?
I mean that I am seriously at my breaking point with you. And it's not Hanny, John. It's your wife, Hannah. You've been talking to me this entire time that you thought you were talking to Hannah.
Wait, what? What do you mean? I don't understand. What's going on here? What is this?
Are you really going to make me type out the exact thing that I just told you right now? But anyways, I understand exactly where you're coming from now. We can get a divorce. That's just fine with me. In fact, I already have my half of the paperwork signed. All you have to do is sign your half.
But this doesn't make any sense. How could this be happening? I mean, I thought I was texting Hannah, but I'm actually texting Fiona?
That's right. And for one brief second, I actually thought that you would come up with a nickname for me. But you weren't even creative enough to find a woman with a different name from me.
No, this can't be happening. So then, you're really Fiona? Like, my wife Fiona? This doesn't make any sense at all. I thought I was texting Hannah. It's how she saved in my contacts. What is going on here? How did all this happen?
Well, I suppose that you just didn't notice. But if you were to open the contact information that you have for Hannah, you'll see that my number is in there instead. And that's why you've been messaging me this whole time. In fact, you've been messaging me instead of Hannah ever since you left for your business trip.
What? You mean that I've been texting you for the past 4 days? This can't be happening. I thought that I was texting Hannah. I was waiting for you to text me.
But I was texting you. And you should really be ashamed of yourself. Do you know that? I mean, to tell this other woman of yours that I never messaged you? To think that you were going to give her all the gifts you had bought me? To complain to her that all I do for you is work and take care of the kids, as if that isn't already a lot? You just really made up a sad little sob story to tell this woman, didn't you?
But that isn't fair. I thought that I was talking to Hannah. You can't use all of this against me.
And just why can't I do that, huh? Anyways, I know that this Hannah you've been talking to is a woman that works at your office, right? Were you really going to try and end our marriage on our 3rd anniversary? I really am let down in you.
I don't get it. I don't get how you found out. I thought that I was doing so well hiding it from you.
But this is good now, don't you think? I mean, now that I know how you feel, we can get divorced just like you wanted. And then you can go and get married to this Hannah girl. Just like that.
Well, I mean, yeah, that is what I'm going to do, but you weren't supposed to find out that I was cheating on you.
You mean that you were just going to leave me for this other woman all of a sudden and expect me not to guess that you were cheating? Or were you just trying to hide it so that you didn't have to pay for a potential lawsuit against you both? And don't forget about the child support, too. I guess I can actually see why you would want to try and hide all of this from me after all.
Okay, fine. If it's money you want, then I can pay you, okay? I'll pay for the affair, I'll pay child support. I'll pay all of it. Let's just get divorced and be done with this already.
Ha! And just who do you think you are taking that kind of tone with me? You don't get to brush off your affair like it's nothing.
Well, you already know about it, so I don't see what else there is to say about it. If all you're going to do is lecture me, then let's just get this over with. You know, it's exactly because you act this way that I wanted to cheat on you in the first place. You're always trying to embarrass me. I fell out of love with you, and now I love Hannah with all my heart. So let's do this. Let's get divorced so I can finally marry the woman that I want to.
You really are the worst. Do you know that? And just how are you going to tell this to your parents?
What are you talking about? My mom is going to be thrilled when she sees how gorgeous Hannah is. You want a divorce? Let's do this. But I would start packing up your bags now.
After that, John came home with a triumphant look on his face, ready to divorce me and leave me far behind. But what he didn't expect was his mother to be waiting at home there to support me. Not only did she lay into John for lying to me and betraying me, she also told me that she had sent the evidence we had of his affair to the office. John was furious, as he knew that office romances were against company policy. She also explained all about her role in helping me learn that he had been cheating on me. John was left speechless, and soon he was informed from his boss that he and Hannah were being let go. Though since he had already signed the divorce papers, he not only had to pay for the affair, but child support as well. Meanwhile, I packed up my things and took me and my child to my parents' house for the time being. As I try and get back on my feet and adjust to the single life, I heard that John and Hannah didn't break up, but both had to scramble to find jobs and are currently living in a cramped apartment room. I've heard through the grapevine that the once happy couple can now be heard shouting loudly at each other through the thin walls of their apartment building. But I just tell myself that this is exactly what John wanted, and have decided to move on with my life. I've since found a new job and was able to buy a good house in a nice area near a good school for my son. I think I'll be happy as long as I never have to deal with John ever again.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
Tom, where are you? It's past the meeting time.
Sorry, I'm running a bit behind.
My parents are already waiting. They took time off work for this.
Sorry, Sarah. Something urgent came up at work. I might not be able to make it to your parents' house today.
You've got to be kidding. It's already been arranged.
I really am sorry. The timing is terrible.
You're kidding, right? Today we're supposed to announce our engagement to my parents.
I know, I feel awful about this.
They've been looking forward to this for weeks. My mom even prepared a special lunch.
I know, but work is work. Can't be helped. I feel really bad about it.
What kind of work suddenly came up? You didn't mention anything yesterday.
It's a sudden client emergency.
Tom, is this really about work?
What? What's with that question?
You usually tell me the details about work programs. You're being really vague.
It's just complicated to explain over text.
Well, your company's completely closed on weekends. You've never had to work on your days off before. Could it be that you've changed your mind about marrying me?
Of course not. There's an issue with the client that needs handling. Even though the office is closed, I need to go to the client site.
Which client? You've never mentioned weekend visits before.
It's a new client, very important to the company.
Can't someone else handle it? This is our engagement announcement.
I'm the only one who can deal with this particular situation.
I see. Sorry for doubting you. If it's work, it can't be helped. I'll explain to my parents.
Thanks, Sarah. I'm really sorry about canceling last minute.
They're going to be so disappointed. Mom already told the relatives.
I'll make it up to them next time.
Just call me when you're done with work and things settle down. We'll need a new date for the engagement announcement.
Got it. I'll call you soon. Please give my apologies to your parents.
When do you think you'll be finished? Maybe we could still do dinner.
I'm not sure. Don't wait up.
Okay, well, good luck with work. I hope everything goes well.
Thanks for understanding.
I trust you, Tom. That's what matters.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, Tom, it's 3 minutes before our meeting time. Where are you?
Sorry, Sarah. I knew I should have called earlier, but it was hard to say this, so I kept putting it off.
We rescheduled this specifically for today. Everyone is waiting again. Don't tell me it's work again.
Huh, you guessed it.
You've got to be kidding.
Actually, it's not work this time. I'm just canceling. I'm calling off our marriage, so today's engagement announcement is canceled.
What? Is this some kind of joke?
Well, take care.
Wait a minute. You can't just suddenly call off the marriage. Explain yourself properly.
Well, when you ask for an explanation.
After 4 years together, I deserve more than this. You proposed to me because you wanted to marry me, right? You even gave me an engagement ring. Why are you suddenly calling it off?
Actually, I got back together with my ex.
What? You're with her right now, aren't you? That's why you won't say any of this to my face.
Yeah, and I'm going to marry her instead. That's why I want to break up with you.
No. Wait. Are you serious about getting back with your ex?
Of course. I wouldn't joke about something like this.
The same ex you told me was impossible to deal with? But you always said your ex was a terrible person. You used to complain to me all the time about how she was beautiful, but had awful relationships with men, cheated constantly, couldn't keep a job, and always caused you trouble. You're really getting back together with someone like that?
She is troublesome, but I never got over her.
What? All this time?
Even while dating you, I never forgot about her. I've never loved anyone as much as her.
No way. You were hung up on your ex this whole time? What about all those promises you made?
I started dating you because you were the complete opposite of her. I wanted to forget her quickly. Surprisingly, the time with you was fun, and I felt comfortable. I really did want to marry you. But the other day, when I was supposed to go to your parents' house, I got a message from her saying she wanted to meet.
What? You said it was urgent work that day. You lied and went to meet your ex?
I had no choice. She said she'd jump off a building if I didn't meet her. She'd just broken up with her boyfriend and was acting self-destructive. I didn't know what she might do if I wasn't there.
So that whole work emergency was made up? How did that turn into marriage? You wanted to stop her from being self-destructive, right? Once you stopped her, that should have been the end of it.
Well, she cried and apologized to me. Said she was sorry for everything she'd done. And that she always regretted breaking up with me. When someone says that, wouldn't you want to get back together?
Huh? Don't suddenly act like this is normal. 4 years together means nothing to you?
Anyway, got back together with my ex. We're dating with marriage in mind, and I just proposed yesterday.
You're kidding. You proposed to another woman while engaged to me? How could you do this?
And it was a huge success. She said yes to the proposal, so I'm going with her instead. It's amazing that I finally got back together with the one I've always pined for.
Well, good for you. Wishing you happiness.
Look at the ugly girl trying to act tough.
What?
My girlfriend next to me told me to say that. She can be pretty harsh to other women.
So she's there reading our messages? I'm not acting tough at all. I am much better off not marrying a man who cheats with his ex. Please tell your girlfriend that I hope you trash belong together and live happily ever after.
What did you say?
I'm really glad this happened before I got a divorce record. Oh, should I return the engagement ring?
Keep that trash. The ring I gave you was just a toy anyway.
What? Really? You mean this whole time?
I used glass instead of a diamond because diamonds are expensive. Of course, I gave my ex a real diamond ring.
You really are the worst. Well, I'll throw it away without hesitation then. Please forget about me and be happy together.
We'll be happy without you telling us. You should hurry up and forget about me and find another man.
Don't worry about me. I already deleted your number.
Good. That makes things easier.
Goodbye, Tom.
Hey, Sarah? It's been a month. This is sudden, but will you marry me after all?
What? Is this some kind of joke?
And are you free today? If you're up for it, let's have the wedding right now. I've got the venue and dress all ready.
Are you drunk? Huh? You suddenly contact me and what's all this about? Don't you have your beloved ex that you can get back together with?
Well, she ran away again. Today, on our wedding morning.
What did you say?
Please, Sarah, I really need your help. We were so happy every day after getting back together. We were more in love than ever before. We got engaged and worked hard preparing for today's wedding together.
Then why did she run away on the wedding day? What happened?
She said she found someone she likes. She sent me a WhatsApp message saying that. She hasn't responded since then. Completely ghosted me.
What?
She didn't even show up at the venue.
So you immediately thought of me as a replacement?
Apparently her new workplace has this handsome boss who's also some company heir. She said she couldn't pass up the chance to marry into money, so she's calling off her wedding. That's what she wrote in the message.
She's even more free-spirited than I imagined. I'm almost impressed.
This isn't funny, Sarah. My parents and guests are already at the wedding venue. It's too embarrassing to suddenly cancel the wedding. So please, have the wedding with me today.
You idiot. Changing the bride at the last minute would be even more embarrassing.
No one would have to know. Shut up! It's the only option I have right now. We'll figure out some way to explain the bride change to everyone. Just hurry and come to the venue. You must still have feelings for me. This time I'll give you a real ring and let you marry me.
Sorry, but I'm already married.
What? You're lying.
I have a husband, so I can't marry you. Sorry, but you'll have to find another bride.
No way! What do you mean married? We just broke up a month ago. You didn't even have a boyfriend, let alone a husband.
Actually, right after we broke up, my childhood friend came to my house. He boldly confessed in front of my parents, asking, "Would you marry me instead?"
Childhood friend? You can't be serious.
It's embarrassing to talk about myself, but apparently he liked me all along, ever since we were kids. When he heard about my broken engagement with you, he rushed over the first chance to ask me to marry him. When he came in with an armful of roses, my heart literally skipped a beat.
And you said yes to that proposal?
Yes, I did. It was surprising, but more than anything, I was happy.
After just a month? No way! So you're a loose woman too?
Excuse me?
You moved on that quickly? Here I am offering to marry you, and you jump to another man in just a month? And getting excited over some roses? You're too cheap!
You never even gave me a single rose, not to mention your proposal. You just suddenly handed me a toy ring in the living room with zero romance. You're the one that bragged that it was made of glass. Don't be ridiculous.
That's... I was saving money for our future.
My mom was thrilled about James, saying, "It's just like a movie." Dad approved too, saying he's known him since forever and feels at ease. So we started dating with marriage in mind, and we just recently registered our marriage. What's wrong with any of that?
But come on, be reasonable. Such a rushed marriage can't possibly work out. We dated for 4 years. How can you trust a man you've only dated for a month?
I trust him completely. He may have only been my boyfriend for a month, but he's been my childhood friend since preschool. We've known each other for over 20 years.
That doesn't count as a relationship. And you must still have feelings for me.
What?
We were together for 4 years. You were crazy about me, so you must still have feelings left. If you're married to another man, just get divorced. Come back to me.
Like I'd have any lingering feelings for trash like you. Serves you right getting played by your ex.
What?
At least my husband treats me with respect. You sound pretty pathetic, desperately clinging to the woman you dumped. I only regret wasting 4 years dating a man like you.
Here I am offering to marry you, and this is your attitude? Don't get cocky just because I dumped you miserably.
Excuse me?
Your husband must be some boring, plain guy anyway. There's nothing to brag about marrying someone like that.
Don't insult my new husband. You have no right to talk about him like that. He may not be as flashy as you, but he's a very sincere person. He's important to me and shows that he really loves me. He even prepared a proper engagement ring, unlike you. He gave me a beautiful, large diamond ring.
What?
Diamonds and glass really do shine and weigh differently. Thanks to you, I learned a good lesson.
Diamond rings are really expensive. No way your husband could have afforded that.
I'm blocking your number after this. If you want a wedding so badly, have one by yourself. Or put a dress on a mannequin. That kind of wedding suits you better.
Wait, Sarah!
So, you're the one who married the company heir. I was aiming to be his wife. Give him to me right now, you husband stealer. Who are you? I don't recognize this account. Don't play dumb. I'm Victoria, James's future wife. I'm much more suitable to be his wife than you, so I won't let you have him. How did you get my contact information? That doesn't matter. What matters is you're in my way. Excuse me, but where do you live? If you're in the same state, I can recommend a good neurologist. If you say that you've come from the future, you must have hit your head somewhere. If not, you should get a good doctor to take a look at you. Don't mock me. You think you're so clever. I'm not mocking you at all. I'm being very serious. You must have tricked him somehow. Just shut up and hand James over to me. I seriously care about him. I even abandoned my wedding on the day of the ceremony for his sake. What? You can't be serious. That proves how serious I am. No other woman would do something like that. I care about him so much I'd give up anything. I am definitely more suitable to be his wife than you. Wait a minute, you abandoned your wedding on the wedding day? By any chance, was the groom named Tom? Huh? How do you know Tom's name? Are you stalking me? Actually, I'm his ex-girlfriend, the one he dumped to get back together with you. What? You were that woman? No way. Indeed, I was. Thanks for that time. I'm the ex-girlfriend he broke up with right before the engagement announcement because of you. This can't be happening. What's going on here? Why are you married to my James? I thought Tom dumped you just a month or so ago. Your James? He was never yours to begin with. Actually, after that, I ended up marrying James, who was my childhood friend. But I never imagined that the company heir you were targeting was James. Childhood friend? You're lying. Come to think of it, he did mention recently that he moved to his uncle's company. Said he'd need to learn about management since he'd eventually inherit the family business. Stop acting like you know him so well. No, wait, what is this coincidence? And Tom was just a stepping stone for me. To think that a woman like you who got dumped by such a man would steal my future husband? I didn't steal anything. He was mine from the start. What? We've known each other since we were children. That doesn't mean anything. By the way, you should contact Tom. I heard he was really sad when you went no contact. I heard that the wedding was canceled and he felt humiliated. I don't care about that. I have a dream of marrying James. A dream? You don't even know him. I know enough. That dream will never come true because I'm his wife and he loves me. What did you say? You'll regret this. Well then, I'll be going now. Please don't try to interfere with my husband again. This isn't over. Actually, it is. I'm blocking you now. Wait!
Hey! Is this for real? Your husband is the company Air Victoria was after? Everything Victoria said was true?
Oh, you're using a different number now?
Answer me!
From your reaction, it seems she contacted you. I told her to contact you. You could show a little gratitude.
How dare you! Shut up! What gratitude? Both you and Victoria are the worst. All women are worthless trash.
What?
You knew all along, didn't you?
Knew what?
What the hell? So women are all about money after all. Both Victoria and you will end up choosing men of money. That could have treated you so much better.
The only one judging by money is your ex. Don't lump me in with someone like her. Besides, you dumped me, and that's how I ended up marrying my husband. Don't act like you're the tragic hero here.
You must have planned this. But you didn't come back to me. I said I'd marry you. If you're not after money, then marry me.
Huh? How does that make any sense? You dumped me, remember?
I'm a laughingstock now that the wedding was canceled on the day of. My parents are furious, saying they were humiliated because of you. My friends are laughing, saying I was stupid to try marrying that woman. If this is how it is, I'll marry you and show them all.
You're still just thinking about yourself. Don't drag me into your self-satisfaction. If you want to get married that badly, ask your ex Victoria.
You don't understand anything. I don't care about her anymore. She finally contacted me just to say she was pregnant. She's always too unpredictable.
Oh, pregnant? Oh, congratulations.
Are you mocking me? Huh? What's there to congratulate? The baby's father's probably some other guy. She's claiming it's my child, but I'm not falling for that.
I understand why you'd think that way, but completely denying it is cruel. You were dating after all.
Dating? She was just using me. No, I won't believe anything about her anymore. She's the kind of woman who runs away to another man on her wedding day. If I trust her and marry her only to find out it's another man's child, that would be the end for me.
Don't worry, your life is already a complete embarrassment.
What?
You really haven't changed at all. It can't get any worse than paternity fraud. Selfishly dumping me to get back with your ex only to have her run away on your wedding day? It's a truly embarrassing, pathetic life. No matter what you do now, all your friends will keep making fun of you.
No. You become cruel.
I've just learned to be honest. Well, what happens next depends on you. If it really is your child, take responsibility properly. Well then, I hope it turns out well.
Wait! Don't you dare look down on me!
Goodbye, Tom. For good this time.
Sarah!
After that, Tom's ex Victoria quit her job and safely gave birth to her baby. When the paternity test was done, it was confirmed that Tom was indeed the father, and they ended up getting married. The wedding was a small, quiet affair, quite different from the grand ceremony they had originally planned. Most of their friends declined to attend, still remembering the scandal of their first attempted wedding. Tom's parents attended reluctantly, more concerned about their grandchild than the marriage itself. Victoria tried to contact me several times through different numbers to brag about the marriage, but I had blocked all unknown contacts. Eventually, Victoria gave up trying to reach out, too occupied with her new role as a mother to continue her previous schemes. However, I heard that Tom was shocked by the unexpected result of the paternity test and was saying, "Do I really have to raise a child with such a hopeless woman? She's the last person who should be a mother," while holding his head in his hands. He spends most of his time at work, avoiding coming home early, and tells his wife that he's working late while he's actually sitting alone at nearby bars. And Victoria herself had internally believed the father was someone else and had thrown unreasonable tantrums, saying, Why does it have to be your child of all people? I wanted to have a more handsome man's baby. Their marriage devolved into constant arguments, with both of them regretting their hasty decision to marry for the sake of the child. Meanwhile, James and I remain happily married, having moved to a different city for James's work. We occasionally hear updates about Tom and Victoria through mutual friends, but we have long since moved on, and we're more focused on our own happiness. I'm making the most of the time I have with the one person who has always truly cared for me.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.